Welcome back, fellow thrill seekers and two-wheeled enthusiasts, to Auto Alchemy. Today, we're revving up our engines and diving headfirst into the world of superbikes. Yes, we're talking about those sleek, mean machines that make every ride feel like a scene from a Hollywood blockbuster. So buckle up, because we're about to unveil the top 10 superbikes of 2024, guaranteed to make you say, "Move over, Batman, there's a new hero in town." Let's roll. Number 10. Ducati Panigale V4. When we talk about awesome bikes, Ducati definitely steals the show. Now imagine everyone's surprise when they ditched their beloved V-twins for the V4 in 2018. It was like swapping your old reliable car for a rocket ship, and it worked. Their top-tier model, the V4R, is basically a super exclusive beast made for winning world championships. And don't even get me started on the standard V4. It's like having a Ferrari engine strapped to your bike. Also, you're getting top-notch stuff. Crazy suspension, brakes that could stop a comet, and even those funky wings. And if you're feeling extra fancy, you can shell out an extra $5,000 for the S version. Number 9. Honda Fireblade SP. With Suzuki saying goodbye to its GSX R1000, Yamaha deciding its R1 is just for tracks now, and Kawasaki barely giving a nod to the ZX-10R for ages, it seems like Honda is the last hope for Japanese superbikes. The name Fireblade goes way back to 1992, but the newest one came out 4 years back, all shiny and new. Now they've tweaked it a bit for 2024, mainly to keep up with the speedy folks on the racetrack. Even though it's been tearing up the Isle of Man TT and British Superstock races, Honda's been struggling to keep up with the cool kids like Ducati and Yamaha on the World Superbike stage. They're crossing their fingers that these updates will finally give them the edge. Although gone are the days when Japanese bikes were the budget-friendly option. Now Honda's Fireblade will set you back a pretty penny, starting at a hefty $29,703. And if you want the carbon fiber version, add another $4,107. Also, it's packed with fancy tech borrowed from Honda's super rare RC213 VS, and the engine claims to churn out over 214 bhp. Number 8. BMW S1000RR. While others have taken a break from the sports bike scene, BMW has been going full throttle with its S1000RR superbike. The first one zoomed onto the scene back in 2008, revving up for 2009. Since then, BMW has been like, let's keep this party going. They've been tweaking and tuning, and now, voila, we're on the 6th edition of the S1000RR. Now there's this latest version called the M for Motorsport 1000RR, which is like the VIP pass for the World Superbike races. But hey, don't sleep on the standard S1000RR. It's still packing a punch with 210 bhp, all for a fraction of the cost. It's not as pricey as you think, especially considering that fancy logo on its fairing. You can snag one for $21,674, which is a steal compared to some other bikes out there. And if you want to pimp your ride, there are options galore. Like the Dynamic Pack for $1,794, giving you extra modes and fancy suspension. Or if you want to go all out, there's the M1000RR for $39,103. It's got all the bells and whistles, from carbon fiber to aerodynamic wings. Number 7. Kawasaki ZX-10R Ninja. The ZX-10R, once a famous superbike, is now more like the wise elder among its flashy counterparts. It costs $22,115, which isn't too expensive compared to others. While many bikes boast immense power, the Kawasaki has a modest 200 bhp. But for regular riders like us, that's more than enough. It has a rich history, powering Jonathan Rea to 6 world titles and receiving regular updates. The latest model from 2021 has a sleek new design to improve aerodynamics. Although it may not be as fancy as European rivals, Kawasaki has a dedicated fan base and a long history, starting with the GP Z900R in 1984. Feeling fancy? Well, there are a few more exciting things Kawasaki has for you, but before riding towards those, here's a little thing you can do for us. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a like. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon right next to it to never miss any video from our channel. Time to go back to the superbike. Kawasaki has the ZX-10RR Ninja for just $32,605. It's made for the racetrack, but not practical for daily use, like getting a Ferrari for commuting. Number 6. Aprilia RSV4 1100. When you want a bike that's got style, speed, and doesn't break the bank, the RSV4 1100 is like the cherry on top of our bike collection. Imagine you're eyeing a bike that usually costs a pretty penny, but right now it's on sale for a tad less. It's like getting a discount on a designer outfit. You feel like you're getting away with something. Back in 2009, when the first RSV4 strutted onto the scene, it was like the cool kid at school with its powerful engine and fancy gadgets. It even bagged a couple of World SBK titles, like winning MVP in sports. But then, like a celebrity moving from one big project to another, Aprilia decided to focus on MotoGP. The RSV4 might look similar on the outside, but it's like a glow-up on the inside. They've tinkered with the engine, making it punchier, and claiming it can hit speeds that'll make your hair stand on end. It's like giving your old car a new engine and watching it roar like a lion. Number 5. KTM 990 Duke. KTM, the motorcycle maker that loves its naked bikes, is back with a new addition to its Duke lineup for 2024, the 990 Duke. This bike sits snugly between the tiny 390 Duke and the beastly 1290 Super Duke. They took the engine from the 790 and 890 Dukes, gave it a growth spurt to 947 cc's. You get 123 horses and 76 pounds-feet of torque. The new chassis, fancy WP Apex suspension, LTM brakes, it's all there, packed into a feather-light 394 pounds. KTM says they've tweaked the seating position for comfort, but let's be real, it's still gonna be as fierce as its ancestors, just sharper than a sushi knife. Number 4. Yamaha XSR900 GP. Yamaha's XSR900 has been dabbling in the modern classic game for a bit, but in 2024, they're really shaking things up with the XSR900 GP. They're channeling Wayne Rainey's glory days with those colors, the 90s Grand Prix champ. Now they've jazzed up the ergonomics with clip-on handlebars, making it feel like a real racer. The frame's also got a bit more stiff and the suspension's handled by KYB. So basically, it's sporty but practical, and it looks like it means business. Sure, you can go for the more subtle gray option, but come on, where's the fun in blending in? Number 3. Triumph Thruxton Final Edition. The Triumph Thruxton has become such a cool sports bike that it's leaving the modern classic scene to do its own thing. But hey, don't worry, 2025 is the final call for this cafe racer, so you still have time to grab the 2024 model and join the party. Now, about the final edition, it's basically the same as the Thruxton 1200 RS, boasting 100 horsepower and all the fancy stuff like Showa front, Öhlins rear suspension, and Brembo brakes. But guess what? It's got this snazzy competition green paint job with gold pinstriping and an old Triumph logo on the tank in gold. They even throw in a matching half fairing if you're feeling extra fancy. It's like Thruxton's farewell tour, but with a paintbrush and some gold bling. Number 2. Indian FTR X100% R Carbon Limited Edition. This motorcycle, the FTR, is like no other in its gang. It's got this cool vibe like it's ready to hit the track. And guess what? It's got a touch of San Diego swag. Yeah, the same folks who made those rad MX goggles and shades. They've jazzed up the top-tier FTR R Carbon with some fancy stuff. Think blue candy carbon fiber bits everywhere, even on the front fender and the seat cover. Oh, and let's not forget the white frame that's there to keep the balance. Also, they sprinkled some black magic on the exhaust and thrown in some carbon fiber extras for good measure. Under the hood, or should I say under the tank, it's the same powerhouse, pumping out 123 horsepower from that V-twin engine. And due to those bigger 17-inch wheels, it's smoother on the road than ever before. It's like they've given it a new pair of shoes for dancing down the asphalt catwalk. Number 1. MV Agusta Superveloce 98 Edizione Limitata. Back in the World War II days, MV Agusta was like, hey, let's make a motorcycle engine. Finally, after the chaos of the war, they got to put it together and slapped it into this cool-looking bike painted fancy burgundy. Now, zoom to today, they've got this snazzy Superveloce 800 model that's like a blast from the past. And they're releasing a limited edition version to honor that first bike. It's got all the same guts as the regular Superveloce 800, but they've jazzed it up with racing stripes, Italian flag vibes on top, and the fancy 98 Edizione Limitata graphics on the back. Oh, and if you're brave enough to take it to the track, they've even got a racing kit for it. And that's a wrap on our journey through the hottest rides of 2024. From sleek designs to thunderous engines, these superbikes are ready to rock the roads. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and two-wheeler adventures. And if you want to share your own thoughts, drop them in the comments section below. Until next time, keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down.